That one's the absolute classic. That and Puck.
Yeah, that's a miserable existence. Being Pangolier and a Bloodseeker never feels good.
Hmm. So anytime that
10
you get
seconds
ruptured, you're either
remain.
forced to TP immediately after the rupture hits you and just head home and hope
5
you have high enough
seconds
HP that you
remain.
don't die, or just immediately cancel your roll.
And then you get blood
Not
righted,
fun.
and it's really cool.
Yeah, then you get blood righted, and then if you swashbuckle away from it, you just take way too much damage.
It's classic.
So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't situation there. Bloodseeker is way too good against the hero. It's kind of like the Bloodseeker against Timbersaw matchup in the past, where if you drop a chalk on him, you just blood rage him,
Yeah.
and he was forever silenced.
I think
That was
I
hilarious.
think this Bloodseeker is going to be in the hands of Monster. I think what we're seeing here is going to be a mid lane Viper for Esk and a off
Mhm.
lane Bloodseeker here. They don't need it to do a lot. Like it doesn't need to be a heavy counter, but like in the terms of items, it just based on his kit alone should be able to provide a lot. And they actually ban out Yuma's Magnus, which is, I mean, to be honest, North America was way ahead of the curve on this one. Magnus was being played in the carry position since like Pro Series 7. So
Yeah,
the
no, we're
rest of the
just
world
built
was just
different over
late to
here.
the party.
Yeah, Yuma, my favorite
10
North American player.
seconds remain.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
He is.
5 seconds.
He's North American now. He
Hmm.
owns on D2 Hustlers,
It's
so that
turn to
makes him
battle.
NA. If you're good at something, you're North American, you guys. Keep that in mind. They banned out the Bat Rider last. We've seen that a couple of times now, just banned out in the last phase. I think people are worried about, I guess, just like the gotcha potential or being dragged back. If you're
10
playing against a Bloodseeker
seconds.
as well, you get separated from your team. You've got like Viper and Nick Assassin sitting
5
between
seconds
you and
remain.
whoever you're trying to save. And you don't plan on picking anybody with a save against the Bat Rider, then it makes sense that you want to ban that one out. Vengeful Spirit and like Shadow Demon have been a little bit more popular than with Oracle, but it's doesn't really fit into their cards right now on four zoomers. I think they probably have. They need to pick up their carry here in all likelihood. Tiny is probably going to be in the mid lane, and it's probably going to be Moo in the off lane. That's my guess.
I think
We've
we're
been out.
seeing Costa Bele Tiny. I do. And we're looking at Gunner's hero here against the Viper.
10 seconds.
But it is. It's
Right.
one of those things where it's super flexible, so it doesn't really. They haven't really given anything
5
away.
seconds
They will
remain.
once they grab this last hero here, right? They have to show all their cards to D2 Hustlers. But with Costa Bele playing Tiny yesterday, I have a feeling it's going to be Costa Bele Tiny again.
Really, I mean, they targeted 4 bans at Costa Bele, even after the Tiny came out in the first phase.
That is true.
Radiant must choose.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
That's okay. And that's what you got me here for. You're just the good looks, Ricky. You can be my my himbo.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but sure.
Don't worry about it.
10
Morphling is a incredibly solid pick here. This has been banned a lot in the last couple of days as well,
5
and
seconds.
you do have decent stun in Nick Assassin. Like a lot of the time, you're going to be able to get him with the impale, but outside of that, like you can play around the cookie from Snapfire. It's difficult for Viper to bring you down, and all right, that's a pretty good counter.
That's a pretty good counter, yeah. We're both just like, huh, yeah, that's a rough
I
one.
guess you could, yeah. That's like your Uno. What? That's a reverse card.
Yeah, that's
right
the
there.
Uno
Like a
reverse
Morphle.
card for sure.
Uh,
Yeah, that is a really good last pick here from D2 Hustlers. And overall, I don't think Gunner's going to have a great time mid. Yuma on the Bloodseeker should have a great game. So
Yeah.
I love D2 Hustlers draft here.
Me too. I probably prefer them going into this game. I'm not a big Doom fan, but I think against the Morphling, against the Pangolier, it is way too good. They've counterpicked them super hard. They don't have an incredibly solid game plan of their own on D2 Hustlers. I think they kind of just picked reactionary to what four Zoomers have, but
10
all their
seconds.
picks are super sick counter picks.
5
Moo's gonna have his work cut out for him this game. I feel if they do stay in this, I think it's going to be the Moo and the Husky game. Gunner, I think he's going to struggle too much in the mid lane up against the Viper, and Z Freak. I don't think he's going to get to play as greedy as he normally likes to on his position 4.
Well, we'll
Love to
see what
see though.
happens. Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is going to be a really fun series overall. Like the the fact that both these teams have like had a pretty good showing so far in the tournament, and Zoomer's having a little bit of a roster change. I think Costa Bile fits them a lot better. They've been playing better, it seems, so should be fun. Any prediction based on the draft alone?
D2 Hustlers. D2 Hustlers on draft alone. I do think 4 Zoomers have stronger players on the team, but Flea is an absolute beast, and Flea's coach is helping me quite a bit right now. So if I should talk Flea at all, he's going to stop helping me.
All right. Fair enough.
No bias. Yeah.
No bias at all. I'll let it slide.
Do you know Flea's coach?
Do I what?
Do you know Flea's coach?
No.
He helped him get up to 10k MMR in like a couple of days. He went up like 600 MMR in like 4 days or something like that. Well, no, I'm exaggerating. I think it was like 2 weeks or a month.
There's no adjusting things at that point. So this is kind of like a nice little trial run for some of these teams, being like, well, how do we mesh as like players? Like, do we even want to consider this, or is this just a disaster? And do we need to do something else? I don't want to point fingers, but there has been a couple disasters so far.
Do you have any roster leaks for me?
Only the finest, but I can't really leak them on stream.
Come on.
Come on.
The people want to know.
I'm not sure if you know, but RTZ is joining Arkosh.
I hate this guy.
And that's why he started streaming again. I'm not sure if you caught that. He's going to be the new Arkosh content creator.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Evil geniuses didn't want him anymore, huh?
Yeah, it's weird how that happened. I don't know.
Or did he just want to join Arkosh instead?
You know, the world may never know, Neph. It's
Imagine willingly spending time around Canis Vulpus. The stench.
I mean, you're worried about the stench? Think about Gremla, dude. I don't think that guy has ever showered. I don't think he knows what water is. He probably can't swim. Maybe that's the counter. Get him in the river.
You think he's like the aliens from that movie, or do you think he's like the gremlin from Gremlins?
Probably a little bit of both.
Crucible of greatness awaits.
He's
So
definitely
what, kills him or makes him multiply?
All right. Into the game we go. A nice wraparound on the top rune there, grabbed by Husky. So they're going to start out with 3 here for the side of the Zoomers. A little bit of extra net worth for them to start things out. Big question. Does Gunner have multiple tiny growth sets? What do you think, Neph? Yes or no?
Oh, I guess is no. Let's take a look. Here, and
The answer is definitely yes.
he's got a different one for the Immortal. You're right.
Love
Everything
to see
else
it.
other than the Immortals. You were right. What can I say? I was wrong.
You're just left, Neph. Don't worry about it.
I guess he's a level 25. Makes sense. You do know your hat game.
I am quite a hat fan. Not to be confused with Suns fan.
You're also a Suns fan, I hear.
I am a huge Suns fan. Stan.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
hopefully, Wait, don't you live nearby him?
Yeah. I don't tell him that. I don't want him to get concerned.
He moved specifically to be closer to Suns fan. Very nice by Carapace down there in the bottom lane. Getting on top of this Caper Light is going to be a little bit difficult with this double melee lane here. Yuma and Divine Llama. Nick Assassin is incredibly weak during the laning phase, so Bloodseeker's going to struggle a little bit more than he would otherwise up against Moo here. So I think Moo's going to have a better lane as any business having against a Bloodseeker.
Yeah, I think the Nyx Assassin's nice. Divine Llama's done really well with the Spike Carapace so far. I think he's reflected all of them that he has had it off cooldown, so not bad. None of this damage will really stick to the Keeper of the Light, though, is the problem, so he's not too worried.
The damage isn't going to stick to the Bloodseeker, right? Just
Yeah,
starts
not at all.
All of his HP going back up.
They do have Chakra
mid
Magic
lane?
online now, though, which is really big.
My bad. Gunner was getting dove under the tower for a moment there. He had 5 stacks of poison attack on him. I thought he might have gone down, but he's going to be just fine.
Very nice.
Now, the unfortunate part of this mid-match, Esk is never going to be able to take both water runes on this Viper. Gunner's going to go grab the other one now. You don't have nearly enough movement speed on this slow Sky Snake.
He's actually going to try and toss him away to get his bottle delivered. Yeah,
Oh,
there it
the
is.
next level play?
Yeah. I was like, he needs that bottle regen or else this lane becomes really hard. So he's just going to use it to get 2 extra charges out. Yeah, that was sick. That was actually really smart.
Yeah, deliver the bottle from the high ground down to the low ground there. All right. That is a gamer right there.
Yeah, Gunners. Yeah, what can you say? You know, we talked about the gun show yesterday. Apparently, it's a it's a festival at this point.
The gun festival. Apparently, he wants to play on a European team. I hear. It would be a shame to lose him.
That would
and
be.
Have him, in an inferior region.
He just wants to stomp some noobs. I think is what it is.
Yeah, he's tired of playing difficult games. He wants easy games. That's what you love to hear. Oh, I'm curious where he does go if he does end up moving to the European region. But a man like this, any team is going to be happy to have him.
They'll be lucky to have him.
Exactly. Top lane, we see them trying to contest this hole over here. Flea. You can't contribute too much. I mean, they've got decent kill potential once I think they have a second point in the scatter blast, but you need a decent creep on Doom first, and so far he's got 2 points in Devour, and he hasn't managed to find any neutral creeps that he wants. I think maybe he'll just eat this. No, his ghost is going to expire before it comes off the cooldown. Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more harass coming out here. Cristabila's actually going forward onto Flea, but nothing's going to come of that. Bottom lane.
Yeah, nice fight in the bottom, but there's not a lot that they can do. Again, a lot of this harassment from these lanes aren't going to like result in a kill for a while, I think. Like, I feel like someone has to misplay it pretty heavily. Like, it's not going to come as a surprise to like Yuma or Devi Lama.
Got another shield crash. He does have Illuminate open again. They could try to go for something here.
He went for the 2 points in shield crash, which is a pretty good amount of damage. Nice impale into the blood right. Yuma getting some damage there, but Esk grabs first blood in the mid lane onto Gunner. All right.
Yeah, I just got run down by a poison attack there. He had hit level 5 on Esk before level 5 on the Tiny, and 3 points of that poison attack just ends up doing quick work of you.
There's a lot of damage. Now Viper Strike is available if he wants to grab the point. But Gunner's lane now incredibly difficult, and this is what I was worried about, this Viper or like this Tiny pick. Like I didn't really think they would want to take it into the mid lane, but
top lane, they ended up getting Husky monster on top of Husky there with a cookie, and then finish him off with a scatter blast.
Very nice.
Scorched Earth just does way too much damage at the moment against Enchantress, and just he's got no points in Nature's Attendance. He's just going very aggressive here on Husky. So, never really punished for that one. If you have Nature's Attendance, you don't go down to those dots from the Doom.
Yeah, they are actually farming really well though on the side of Zoomers. I mean, minus Gunner, of course, on the Tiny is having a real bad time, but everyone else doing pretty good. Oh, that's going to be a denied ward. Yeah, unlucky for Husky there. Well played by Esk.
Yeah, and Husky is about to be even more unlucky. Wait, no, they're not going to go for it. I'm worried about Gunner here. Husky is sitting pretty low HP, and you've got 3 points in the Avalanche.
Yeah,
Devi Lama might go down, though.
He does have a Spike Carapace, but he is so slow with the enchant to follow, so he's going to try and use the Spike Carapace there. Reflect, go for the salve, and a little bit off the mark with the Illuminate, and Devi Lama lives. What a gamer, dude.
Not bad. I mean, he had to hold that Spike Carapace as long as possible there because he's worried about the Illuminate, but he managed to do a nice dodge in the trees there after it did come out. Oh, well played by Devi. What we got going on in bottom lane? Yuma getting close to level 6. Moon has to be careful here. I mean, he does have a TP. He can't just TP out, lol, if I go onto him. In fact, he's got a Vanguard as well. He might just stand his ground if he gets ruptured. I take back everything I say. Moo is going to be just fine down here.
Yeah, he does need some levels. This is one thing that benefits the Bloodseeker is like they did, you know, keep the Keeper of the Light down here for quite a while, and as a result, Yuma, I mean, he's got level 6, Moo just hitting level 5, so. And he's got the 3-point shield crash, so he's not going to farm exceptionally well here on this Pangolier with like a swashbuckle that you would normally see.
But he's tanky. He's very hard to kill. Like, the Bloodseeker isn't able to click him down and zone him out of the lane if you got 3 points to shield crash and a Vanguard.
Absolutely. Yeah, that damage reduction scales pretty well.
Yeah. They are trying to make a play down here, it looks like. Divide Llama. Well, we've got 3 heroes. Husky, Z-Freak. But, I don't know. It's not that easy killing Yuma. I think they probably just want to wait till Moo does hit level 6. I think they rotated down here a little bit early, so a little bit of time wasted. But Z-Freak's going to move back up. Try to clear up the Ancients here, or stack up the Ancients.
Somewhere, someone lays blame.
Tenny's a lot harder of a time clearing these than he used to, though, just due to the nerfs to the tree grab. We've seen that from a lot of people with clear out stacks, actually. Everybody other than Sven was nerfed pretty hard. And not to mention the nerf stacking to begin with. Every stack gives you, what, 15% less XP and gold?
I think it's less than 10%. I think it's 10% or less.
10% less for each one? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was enough. I honestly feel like,
Come on, sprites.
I don't know. I've complained about it a lot. I think this stacking meta is like the worst of Dota I've probably seen in years.
I know you were very upset by it in Jungle.
Yeah, they found Husky. They do commit the Rupture just to kill her, which, I mean, isn't the worst thing in the world, but Divide Llama's gonna get picked off in the process. Nice little toss over, and Gunner's gonna yoink that kill. So, at the end of the day, end up being a trade, and the Zoomer is now on the board.
Yep.
That's
Top
a TP
lane.
top. Gunner
Monster
doesn't
trying
get
to
scouted,
dive
but he's gonna
for
find Monster now with the Scorched Earth of Costa Bile. He's just gonna grab himself a double kill there for Gunner. Well played on the Tiny. That is a big stimmy because he was really struggling in this mid lane.
Yeah. The Gunshaw's back, baby. But 3,300 in net worth. He's going to need to farm up kills to get back in this game. He's going for a Blink Dagger here next rather than going for an Echo Saber that you see a lot of the time. But this is the more popular build we saw out of like SA mids for a little bit.
And he's found Flea, gets the kill. Gunner, though, eats a Viper Strike. Husky coming in, trying to keep him alive, but it doesn't look like it's gonna matter. Goes for the deny. Any hope for that? Absolutely not.
No way. It would have been very cool. A nice try, but a small camp, not to mention these Build Troll Berserkers. They don't do much damage.
Bottom lane. Moo with the Rolling Thunder is gonna find the kill there onto Divide Llama.
Yeah. I mean, that's the flip side of Bloodseeker not laning against him anymore. You can freely use that Rolling Thunder. Though he did want to use it on the Enchantress earlier because it's kind of pointless trying to use it off onto Moo, who's just able to cancel his Rolling Thunder, and you can't really melee him down when he's got the Vanguard right now anyway. But he's actually taking pretty heavy harassment at the tower here as well.
No, he takes 0 damage from the tower. He literally took 0 damage. Tower didn't hit him at all. Oh, you mean Flea did? Okay.
Yeah.
Moo.
He's gonna hold on to the cookie here.
And swashbuckles away. Does have a lot of damage reduction from that shield crash like we were talking about. And one of the things that makes this so good against the Rupture is that the duration scales. So it goes from 5 all the way up to 11 seconds. So it ends up outscaling the duration of his Rupture there. So it's never really easy for this Bloodseeker to get on top of him. Really smart by Moo. Clearly he knows his hero well.
Yeah. Especially if you go like multiple heroes, you manage to hit with that shield crash. Like the damage reduction really does add up. It's pretty nice. I'm not as much of a fan as I was before. Like you could just spam out Swashbuckle with a lucky shot. Like the slow and the amount of damage you do with just one spell was huge. Now the hero needs a lot more mana, and you can see Moo picking up like the Arcane Boots and Soul Ring top lane though. But to see a fight break out, and he's got Rolling Thunder available again. I think Monks should be a little bit more careful after he played so aggressively and died to the Tiny, though. You give up a little bit too many kills to Gunner than you should have.
But overall, game's still pretty even. 4-4, a slight gold advantage here for the Zoomers. Not too much, though. Vailama level 6 in the mid lane. They don't actually see him quite yet, but there's going to be the Vendetta into the Impale. Nice pushback from Z-Freak, and it might just be enough distance for Gunner to escape. So, pretty happy about that one.
He's probably going to move over to the stacks over here. I mean, it's difficult without the Echo Saber to be able to clear these. Like, the double attack really does make a difference. So, I don't know. You're forced to play over here close to the mid lane, especially if you're building up these stacks. You've only got triple stack from the Ancient, like... Alright, never mind. He's just going to toss Avalanche this.
Yeah, he found a regen rune, and there's a bounty behind him. He's going to just clear all these.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do the Ancients, though. Like, that is going to be way too slow. You spend a lot of time off the map if you're doing that, and Gunnar needs to play kind of aggressive right now.
Yeah, he's
got
gonna
a
wait on
1K
that for sure.
Yeah.
What have we here?
Leafwick doing a decent job of keeping the mid lane pushing as well, so you're not getting any extra map control. You don't want to take this late against the Morphling in the Tiny, though. So D2 Hustlers are probably going to have to start to make some moves pretty quickly here. Need to get a couple more items. I don't like the fact that Monster has gone for this Midas escape.
Did he
It's
really? Wow.
He
Okay.
did. It's kind of greedy. I'm not about to question Monster God, but I'm also kind of questioning Monster God.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Midas here. I think he does want to be able to find pickoffs onto this Morphling and like smoking up with his team and trying to make these plays. But yeah, that Midas, he's gonna be a farm Doom in like 10 minutes. I'll say that.
Yep. Also, nobody started working on a Spirit Vessel yet, despite the fact that they're playing against Enchantress and Morphling.
Yeah, that would not be a bad item for the Doom.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing to look at right now. Oh, well, we'll come back to that. We get a smoke up here from 4 Zoomers. Looks like they want to start heading into the Dire Triangle potentially. Close to Belay is very farmed. 7,100 net worth. He has level 11 on this Morphling already. And Gunnar doesn't have his Blink Dagger quite yet, but they're going to go ahead and miss that in the jungle, and they're going to go ahead and just try and settle for Flea here on the Snapfire, which will open up this mid tower, so a nice find there.
Yeah. They fortify, it'll buy them a little bit of time, but with all the heroes already in position here on 4 Zoomers, you're not going to be able to defend the mid, so this one you're forced to just give up. Which again is kind of odd because you want to be playing a little bit more aggressive here in the early game. The Blink Dagger on the Midas on the Doom rather than picking up a Blink Dagger is going to prevent that though. Divine Llama ends up stealing this haste rune away from Gunnar. But I don't think much is going to come of this one. You can't really commit onto Husky here, not with everybody else so close by. Actually, he swashbuckled up and away. He might go for it.
He's going to try, but they found Doom.
Hunting bounties.
That's going to be it. Oh, I don't like the lack of action here, man. I feel like they're not making enough plays on D2 Hustlers. They're not hustling enough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you that you have this Bloodseeker Doom and Bloodseeker into the Pangolier. I feel like you just want to be able to like try and punish this hero with your Rupture every time, but they're not getting anything out of it. And I think part of it is Moo's build, like this Vanguard 4-point shield crash, now going for the Lincoln Sphere. I mean, if you see a couple Lincolns and a Lotus Orb this game, 4 Zoomers are not going to struggle in the late game at all.
Yeah, and you're very discouraged from like taking fights at the moment. You're going to be even more discouraged in the future. So they kind of negate all the spell damage with these Lotus Orbs and the Lincoln Spheres being picked up. In fact, you just grab the Sanj and Yasha now on the Morphling, so trying to outlast the Doom.
Well, it reduces the duration on Doom and Rupture, which is fantastic. Yeah. It does make Doom like technically tick for more damage because it still does the same amount of duration or same amount of damage just over a shorter duration, but yeah, having Doom and Rupture on you for a shorter period of time is one of the best counters to those abilities.
Yep. Yeah, so there's no way he finds his kill by himself. He's wasting time in the tree here. Ghost of Bila has had such a free game.
Well, they're going to TP down the Nyx, maybe try and make a play here with the Vendetta. But Husky right behind. Oh, they drop a Sentry and back instantly as they will see him.
Yeah.
In the trees, going to be Flea TPing in as well as Monster. Mortimer Kisses comes through, and he's going to be able to find this Enchantress, but he does not have the damage alone. It's got to come from Divine Llama, but a Dust comes through. They just predict it perfectly. Rolling Thunder, they just got baited out so hard.
All right, that was pretty sick. They walked right into their hands there. I think they're like flustered here or something on D2 Hustlers because again they predicted that Nyx assassin coming in. They dropped the ward underneath the tower to scout that guy out. They lift and chase him down, pop the dust, turn around on him. Yuma's just elsewhere now. That was actually so sick, man.
I think they just, like you said, it feels like D2 Hustlers is a little bit lost trying to figure out what to do at the moment, but they don't really have an answer. Like it's got to be Monster having a Blink Dagger on Doom, but he didn't have it yet because he went for this early Midas.
Yeah, he didn't have it in that last team fight. Like, if he can get the initiation off on Ghost of Belay there, great. They're going to find the kill. He also needs to find a Centaur because it's a pretty big wind-up on the Doom. It's like 0.5 seconds. So Morphling has more than enough time to react and waveform out of there before he can get that off. So force stop is going to be pretty necessary.
Gunner showing off his blink first though as he finds Monster trying to set up a kill here, and they've got him.
He thinks that there's a ward up there, which is, you know, slightly wrong. It's on the low ground over here.
You were talking about Spirit Vessels earlier. Z-Freak has one of his own. So picked one up for the side of the Zoomers, and not a bad Spirit Vessel game either.
No. Not at all. I'm surprised to not see it happen on any of these heroes. I thought maybe Doom or Nyx Assassin would pick one up. I mean, even Snapfire. Snapfire does prefer building like a Medallion of the Courage into Solar Crest fairly early. Being able to drop it on the enemies with like huge amounts of minus armor or with the Viper, so definitely poisonous tag.
They are so sure that a ward is up there, but they are so wrong.
Yeah.
Divine Llama goes over for a D ward, thinking he's like, yeah, you know.
Die before he even gets there.
Yeah.
Oh no, Monster. Alright, they're pretty far away now. They're not going to go for Monster here. I mean, the one saving grace of this Midas build on Doom is he's going to have net worth as this game drags on. It looks like it's going to drag on because War Zoomers want to get this Morphling big. But
give me two more kills on D2 Hustlers, please. That's all I want.
Two more. Oh, 6 to 9. Very funny. The funny haha number.
Yes. There it is. Divine Llama's like, okay, there's definitely a ward here. This is some BS, and does find that one. I mean, that ward paid dividends. It found them two pretty big kills. So.
Yeah.
And it cost them 2 sentries.
2 sentries, 2 kills, and they spent a lot of time like sitting around there looking for it, so it creates an even bigger net worth advantage. They waste a lot of time trying to take back their area of the map. Get this stun off.
Mid lane, yeah. They do find Gunner, Impale to follow, and that's going to be a death. A big one, 400 gold going the way of Esk there on the Viper, who does have a BKB completed, which is huge for him, and I know Bloodseeker has been working on his. Just about, I mean, 15 gold away, so this is going to be a pretty big timing here for the side of D2 Hustlers. Neph, am I going to get my wish? Are we gonna get that second kill here?
Ones keep you safe.
Unlikely. Not on Z-Freak. The man's too good.
That is true, I believe it.
He's just built different. Until he gets a Blink Dagger on Divine Llama, I think you're going to struggle to find kills on Z-Freak here. He's just playing in the trees. Bottom lane, Flea playing by himself. It's such a classic Flea style of gameplay. I mean, he's playing position 4 this game, right? Rather than 5, but him farming up, working on the Solar Crest. I do think that being able to get the Gobble up later on is going to be pretty important for this game, though.
Just to save, or for initiation.
Save. Save is going to be pretty big here. Well, anyone gets like Toss Avalanche or stunned up too much by Moo, he'll be able to get that. I've seen some sick plays from watching him with Flea's pubs on the Snapfire. The man's just absolutely insane once he gets his Gobble up. So Aghanim Scepter will probably be his next item.
Yeah, he is having a great time, just farming up, but not as good a time as Flea on this Keeper of the Light, who is rolling in money right now.
Man plays his position 4 as like a position 3.
Bottom lane, we're gonna see some TPs in the whole team. They're gonna scout the TP with that sentry ward that was placed, so they will know that D2 Hustlers are showing up to defend. They see the BKBs on both Doom and the Bloodseeker. The question is, do they still want to engage?
I mean, a lot of their damage right now is magical. If Gunner can get like the Toss Avalanche off on one of the targets and they can quickly blow them up, okay, great. But if they activate the BKBs before they get the stuns off in these fights, then I don't think they win them at this point. They need Coast to Belay to be bigger.
I think they're expecting Coast to Belay to be in their jungle, or they're just gonna. I mean,
they see him now. They're gonna try to go for him.
That's who they were trying to find. They got the Blink Dagger on Monster. He's got to get it, and he gets the Morph off in time, so we'll see if it's enough. But there's the Lincolns. Force Staff up onto the high ground. Morphling still alive for the time being, trying to lay into Monster, but he is just out of health at this point. Cannot survive. A 1-for-1 trade at the moment, as they did manage to take down that Snapfire on the backside. Husky just hobbling away.
Yeah,
doing Enchantress things. Nice Viper Strike comes through. Avalanche Toss, though, does connect onto 2. Monster falling incredibly low, as well as Gunner, though. So he gets caught by the impale on the backside, and Moo's just going to leave him to go down.
Tries to turn on Yuma for a moment there, and it looks like Moo's probably going to get out of this one.
You would think so.
Unless he
Divine
can-
Llama, he does need a little bit more mana before going
He's
for
got
the
a wand.
impale. Swashbuckle up to the high ground. Nice attempt there from Divine Llama to go for that Spike Carapace, but
Middle tower is under attack.
Moo knows better though. He knows away. He had a swashbuckle away from him. I think if you go through the target, that hits him with one of the swashbuckles, right?
yeah.
But he didn't manage to get that stun off onto him, unfortunately. But yeah, unfortunately, they end up dropping the Doom and the Rupture off of the Morphling, so there's just no getting away from that one. And even though he was trying to lay into Doom towards the end, all of his strength right now is just from his agility. So there was no turning on that Doom once he was on top of him there. The Lincoln needs to come out slightly faster. You can't get hit with all of that to survive these team fights. So picking off that Morphling was pretty big there, but they know the abilities are on cooldown now, so they're going to go right into Roshan, and I don't think they're going to be able to stop them here. Mortimer Kiss is still on cooldown for another 23 seconds. Maybe you could drop another toxin inside the pit, but I don't think it's going to slow them down too much.
Moo, swashbuckles on out, pops the dust, rolling thunder, doesn't get gone right away, but they turn around onto Gunner, who just gets popped. He's gonna be the first to go down in the fight. Divine Llama still managed to keep himself alive, but Moo will be able to finish that one. Backside of the fight, Costabile will crouch the Viper, and now just gonna head waveform away, try and keep himself alive. Yuma pop that BKB, had to disengage. Doom still on cooldown for another 15 seconds.
Dire's bottom tower
Now it's a matter of stalling for the next like 40 seconds until Viper's back up. Yes, they could try to Doom the Morphling after running into the pit, but without the extra damage from Viper, I don't think we're going to be able to bring him down, and looks like they're going to get away with this Roshan.
Oh, he goes in on Monster, gets the cookie as well. The Lincoln Sphere doesn't come out to protect the Morphling. The Aegis goes down. It gets taken up by Yuma. They lose the Morphling, and Yuma coming back with a second life here pretty quickly. Flea, though, I don't know if he can help him. Ooh, that is not the ideal spot for the cookie. The Avalanche, the toss of damage in from Gunner. We'll be able to finish on the Bloodseeker, and Flea going for the TP out. He's going to be successful, but Divine Llama caught by a dust. Swashbuckle up on forward, the toss in, the Avalanche as well. Gunner will come back with a vengeance here in this fight.
So yeah, he does ask. He realizes the fight's already lost. He doesn't even bother trying to TP in at that point. At the very least, they get the kill off on a Morphling. They stop them from getting the Aegis there. I mean, it's something. I didn't see what happened with the Lincolns there. Why it didn't come off onto the Morphling? Were they just too slow with it, or what?
Yeah, it was just too slow. They just didn't get the Lincolns off. Or either that, or it was just like chaos with heroes jumping around all over the place.
So yeah, they end up getting the kill off onto Roshan as well in D2 also. So a little bit of XP and gold going their way. They even things out a little bit. Net worth lead hasn't really increased too much for 4 Zoomers. They get a bit after that team fight, but it's not nearly as bad as it would have been giving up the Roshan. My concern is that this game continues to go on. Again, Morphling is going to get a little bit bigger. He's getting this Lincoln Sphere of his own. They don't have a way of controlling him up and preventing any of his HP regen he's currently got. Bloodseeker's working on a Scotty right now, but again, Shiva's Guard's Spirit Vessels would have been pretty important, and I think that we're starting to get to the breaking point where Costabile is going to be too big once there's like several Lincoln Spheres on their team.
Yeah, he's got his BKB on his way to his Lincoln Sphere now for Costabile, knowing how important it is this game. We talked about it already, right? Once you have Lincoln Spheres, once you have Lotus Orbs, this game becomes so much easier. Top lane, there's gonna be the jump in. Costabile just pops the BKB and turns it around. Catches a Rupture. Does need to be careful though. Lincoln Sphere does come out, but he just gets chain stunned down, and Costabile dies in the process. No one here to save him, and Moo gonna bite it second, as he just was the one that targeted by the Rupture.
No, it was Costabile who got ruptured there.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Or did he? Yeah, it was Costabile who got ruptured there. So he was forced to stand in place. That's why he wasn't moving. He popped the BKB and continued to whittle away at the tower. But they didn't see Divine Llama line that one up. He ended up getting hit with a double stun. Unfortunately, Lincoln doesn't block Impale anymore. Not for a long time now. So he thought he was safe sitting there, but they let Divine Llama sneak up on him. It was a pretty sick wraparound into the 2-man Impale. Well, is your punish, and you need to be making moves right now because again, if you let him finish multiple Lincoln Spheres, this Morphling completes the second one, then you're in a lot of trouble. In fact, oh my God, Zfric's working on Lincoln Sphere as well, so they're gonna have at least 3 on their team.
I think this is correct. I'm not even joking. If you get Lincoln Spheres, D2 Hustlers have no game. Like their heroes just actually can't cast their spells.
Yeah, I mean, everything single target. The Viper Strike, the Doom, the Rupture, like these spells need to land onto the heroes, specifically Ghost of Bila, in order for them to win the team fights. So if you can prevent it, like even a single time in a fight, I think that you do just close out the game. And even though they have been dying, they've been dying on D2 Hustler's side of the map. That's what they've been playing this entire game. If you take a single good fight here, you just win. Like, Morphling's going to tear through your building so quickly. So I think they're banking on that right now. They know, okay, if we keep the lane shoved in, even if we're dying, we're not really giving up that much control of the map. I think we're going to be fine doing the things that we're doing. Monster is working on that Shiva's God I was talking about now, by the way. And they've got 2 heroes building Eyes of Scotty, both the Viper and the Bloodseeker. So once that's done, Morphling's going to struggle a little bit more, even with the Lincoln Spheres.
I like it. I mean, we can see the net worth distribution here. A lot of it concentrated on the 3 cores here from D2 Hustlers. 4 Zoomers having a little bit of a lead, but it's pretty much just a result of Z-Freak on this Keeper of the Light, right? Like, he's the one who has all this extra gold that we're seeing there. And his Lincoln's is done.
So that's one. Now it's a matter of... But Morphling's going back for a Eye of Scott instead of a Lincoln's now. I guess he just wants extra tankiness. It makes sense as well. If he sees like the Shiva's God being worked on and these Eyes of Scotty's being worked on, he needs higher HP.
I also think he's just going to be relying on Z-Freak to be by him pretty much at all times. To make sure he's got that Lincoln's buff.
I wish I could rely on Z-Freak to be by me at all times.
That'd be a life.
That kind of support. Please end up going for a Blink Dagger, by the way, rather than an Aghanim Scepter. So, regardless of the fact that it was nerfed for the Scatter Blast, I think it is still pretty valuable. But it's a little bit harder to get that like long duration lockdown than it was before. You have to fire Snap Cookie pretty quickly after you jump on them and hit them with the Scatter Blast.
Smoke into the mid lane here from the Zoomers, Costa Bile. Trying not to show himself in the trees as well as the rest of the team. They've got the Stormcrafter there. Moo jumps up onto the high ground, pops the dust, finds nothing. They will get a D-Ward. And then turn their attention, I guess, just to the triangle. They're just going to hold this area for the time being.
Yep. Looks like they're smoking. Yeah, they're going to smoke up and try to invade the triangle here. Based on the positioning of 4 Zoomers, this could be a dangerous move.
They're going for a really far wraparound. Divine Llama leading the charge, of course, here on the Nyx Assassin, thanks to the cover of Vendetta, but they're going to get the vision that they want, and a nice 2-man stomp into the Mortimer Kisses. Moo able to swashbuckle away, and Enchantress 4-staffs herself, and Moo, he's going to get that Rolling Thunder off. He's fine. The question is, will Yuma commit the Rupture once this Lincoln's... I mean, I guess he's never going away, though.
Double Lincolns.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lincoln's in Z-Freak, and he's got his own Lincoln, so he's going to be just fine. You don't want to commit the Rupture off onto that, and so then they run into each other. The only hero they get is Enchantress. At the very least, maybe they'll get this mid-tier 1 tower and a little bit more control of the map. Maybe?
It looks like they will. Gunner positioned to try and find something here, but this is not easy. All 5 heroes of D2 Hustlers ready to go, and they are strong, man.
Mm-hmm. I've got just completed on Coast of Bila. I think that's what they were waiting for, but that one came out a little bit too slow. So everyone's going to get back for now. Yeah, it's farming up the other team's jungle. Things slowed down for now, but again, good moves here from D2 Hustlers. They end up taking a little bit of extra map control. These Lincoln Spheres are continuing to be a problem. They need to be more careful with their positioning in these team fights and whether or not they blow any of these abilities. Like, there was huge hesitation by Yuma, even though he was pretty far forward, and I think that was the correct decision. Because again, if you don't get the Morphling with these things, you straight up lose the fight. There's no way these heroes are going to be able to fight into him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Smoke up again here from the Zoomers. Invis Rune here in the river. They will see S the jump forward, toss back. Moo actually misses with that Rolling Thunder right away. He's able to survive with the BKB for now, but S just hobbling away. Unable to escape, but the Doom comes out and he catches the Morphling, the target that he wants. But there's no follow-up damage for this. It's just gonna be Monster. Glimmer Cape, Force Staff away. He's up onto the high ground. A toss will buy in the space he needs, but he still goes down in the process. They cannot keep him alive, and now Gunner stuck between two cores here up on the side of D2 Hustlers. Yuma and Monster will be able to pick him off. Moo, save for the moment, but taking a lot of damage as well. Buyback in from Gunner. They need to be able to find these kills. The toss in, he's grabbed Yuma. He goes down.
That was, you know, honestly a really good fight for Zoomers. They ended up taking the mid lane and didn't coast to be like that. That was such a sick initiation there by Monster, though. He's watching the Morphling's BKB and watching the positioning of the other people, seeing if anyone dropped the Lincoln Sphere onto him. Preemptively used his BKB so his Blink Dagger wouldn't get disabled. Goes into the team fight, dooms him up, and then pops his Shiva's Guard like the moment, like as his BKB's ending, and ends up clipping him as like it was on the way out. Without that, I think there's absolutely no way to bring down the Morphling. He reduced his healing so hard there.
Oh my gosh.
He like
Well,
threaded the needle. Oh god.
They didn't even have vision. They're like, hey, he's probably still here somewhere.
Yeah. Like that Monster was the target that someone needed to disable the Blink Dagger of, and he like threaded the needle perfectly as he jumped into that fight. And he moved in the middle of every single hero, but he still managed to get the War Stomp and the well, he just ended up going in and dooming him. Didn't even bother getting the War Stomp off, and it didn't matter that he's starting to morph his strength at that point. And I think towards the end of that one, they did end up getting Morphling with the Rupture as well, which finished him off just towards the end of that Doom. The Lincoln Sphere came off onto him after the Rupture had already landed. They were just slightly too slow.
Well, Aegis, second one here from Roshan, plus the Shard. I'm assuming they give it to Gunner, right? Yeah, so he's gonna have the Shard now.
It's weird watching D2 Hustlers continue to stay in this game, even though they need to execute these fights so perfectly.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. It's 15-19, only a 4K gold lead here for the Zoomers, 35 minutes in. It doesn't feel like it's going to be getting that much easier for them, though.
No. Like, they're doing so well in these fights, don't get me wrong, but ease of execution is definitely on the for Zoomer's side.
Radiant's top tower
I
is
think,
under
yeah, as
attack.
this continues to go on, like, and now that you've given up Roshan, killing this Morphling twice is going to be incredibly difficult. I think you just have to kind of stall out for the next 5 minutes, wait for them to try to go high ground and punish them when they're trying to take your objective, and you take the fight on your terms.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So, shoving out these lanes on Flea. They don't have anybody who's amazing at pushing out the lanes safely, though, and you still have a lot of towers on four Zoomers, so you can't really threaten that many people back. You're going to be forced to take a fight pretty quickly here. Actually, get back on Moo. I'm not crazy about that. Like, he'll be able to get back to the rest of his team. Yeah, with Siegfried. Bring him back.
The classic recall.
Radiant's middle tower is
Broken
under
ability.
attack.
It is pretty damn strong. Five-man smoke here once again from four Zoomers, but again, no one's really
Hustlers, they're not
finding
gonna bite.
anything.
Yeah, they're not going to bite, man. They know how dangerous it is right now. Like, even if Morphling is out of position, he's not really out of position while he's got this Aegis.
And Eska's bottom, you know, he's been split pushing, but doesn't look like anyone's gonna gonna be able to find him in time, as he's already TPing home.
Yeah, they realize the map is dark, enemies aren't showing in lane. They're probably smoked up and running for him. He's exactly right.
Well, Esk actually walks under a ward there as well as Yuma. They're coming up to go for the D ward, but Gunner's got a haster and he pops the BKB, trying to find these heroes. He gets Yuma up on the cliff, forced to TP home.
There's a long TP.
It's a very long TP.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I think, yeah, Viper just TP to that tower, so it ended up being a 5-second one.
Well, BKB's down. Rupture also down, though.
Yeah, cooldown isn't massive. It's 70 seconds, so it's another 50. but Doom is the thing that they're really worried about. Rupture is a pretty big tool in these fights, but as long as he doesn't waste the Doom, I think they're going to be okay. And speaking of, he's working on a refresher now. I think he's got 2 of his perseverances. Yeah, he does. You don't want to die without buyback here on Doom, though. A lot of pressure on Monster. Midas? Yeah. Nice. He's almost got the refresher orb. That's when they can potentially take a fight against the Aegis, or if they get the Doom off onto both the Pango and the Morphling here, they're going to be able to take the fight.
Speaking of Pango, he is on his way to a refresher.
Very nice. I mean, I think honestly it's for AA on disc. As ridiculous as that sounds. AA on disc. Having 2 Rolling Thunders is also a pretty big deal, I suppose. But if you get hit by the Rupture and you just like refresher orb and you have you just keep people stunned up and not take any damage from the Rupture, and then use a second Rolling Thunder afterwards. So it might take them by surprise so much that they end up winning the fight.
You're right though. Now this has been a slow game from both these teams, which is
It's-
very uncharacteristic. I feel like both these teams usually play super fast or super aggressive.
Yeah, but again, they need to thread the needle in these team fights. They only have a single Doom to use on the Morphling, so they know they're not able to leave the base right now, and they can't put themselves too far out of position. They don't have anybody who can chip away at the Barracks or anything. So they're trying to build up a farming advantage, but they wasted a bunch of time while they were dead trying to find kills off onto DD Hustlers, hoping they'd be greedy and leave the base looking for some farm, but DD Hustlers did not bite. The only time that they left the base was when they were fairly certain they were moving to the bottom lane to gank the Viper here. Now they know the Aegis is expiring in the next couple of seconds, they're going to leave and see if they can find a pick off onto somebody.
It's
They got
funny
10
looking
seconds.
at the Morphling. He's got like the double Lincoln's buff on him pretty often, and he's also got the aesthetics cap as well. So he has the bonus stab resistance if they manage to get a Doom or a Rupture out onto him.
Yeah, you've got like probably like a 6-second window to get a kill off onto him.
Gunner just doing a lot of damage to the tower, but he's also going to find Flea here, who jumps up onto the high ground. They do not want to chase here on the Zoomers.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get the scatter blast and push him back into his base there. That was a very dangerous move there by Flea. He doesn't have buyback available either, but he's not crucial to the team fight.
Dire for enemies.
Looking for an opportunity now. I mean, I think Monster does need buyback before they can play super aggressive here. He's got
Radiant's top
Midas and
tower is
Devour
under attack.
in a moment. Yeah, he's getting closer.
I mean, they have the vision here on the Zoomers. This is the most successful place on the map that you can hold. Gunner slowly getting this tower. A cookie forward, 4 staffs, Gunner out, but Rupture does end up connecting, and finally Coast to be on the backside. The Doom ends up coming out onto the Enchantress of all things. As falling low, finally the Rolling Thunder's gonna be able to catch him as that BKB expires. Costabile is the real problem though. Gunner, yes, he is dead, but you've got to deal with this Morphling as well. 3 heroes dead, buyback on the next Costabile. He's out. Gunner, no way to rejoin, and Moo just gonna pop the refresher, go back in with the Rolling Thunder, and try to disengage. So they will go ahead and actually take a pretty successful fight here on D2 Hustlers, finishing it up 3 for 2 with the buyback.
Kind of useless buyback there on the Nyx Assassin. I think they thought the fight was going to continue to go off there, but they chose a different way of taking that one. Instead of going for the Morphling, I mean, they've got so much HP regen reduction right now between the Eyes of Scotty and the Shiva's Guard that they thought, okay, as long as we doom all of Cristabele's allies, we can separate him and not lose too much, then we're going to be fine. So I do end up losing as in that team fight. So did kind of work, but I think once you have a little bit more damage on Morphling, not gonna happen again. And
Dire's middle tower
he's going for damage now. Daedalus, he's gonna tear through your team in no time at all. I think
needs
realized,
this.
okay, I went a little bit too tanky. It takes me too long to tear through these heroes. So
fortified.
with all the Eyes of Scotty on his teammates, sorry, not with all the Lincoln Spheres on his teammates, he can kind of get away with this one now.
He did need to tank up though. Like, he had to build super tanky this game. He can't afford to just get doomed. And I think really smart heads up play there from Monster to realize, you know, like, screw this, man. Like, even if I doom this Morphling, he's just gonna stand still and right click us. So decides, yeah, I'm just gonna run it Husky and make this Enchantress's life miserable.
You got the aesthetics cap as well, so your doom isn't lasting long on him at all.
Do you remember when Infernal Blade used to apply break?
That was neat.
That was super fun. I loved that.
Item Scepter Doom applies break, increase duration by 6 seconds. I mean, break is kind of useless here. Having an extra 6 seconds on Doom is kind of neat, but that's like your 7 slot. He still needs to replace this Midas and update his, upgrade his Blink Dagger. The Spell Prism is a very nice find on Doom, though.
Looks like we're dealing with a little bit of lag real quick, but we're about to...
Well, it's Tuesday, maintenance day.
Oh, God, no.
Mm.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Monster. Yeah, Monster's working on his overwhelming blink right now, which will help him stay on top of these targets once he jumps the back line. Enchantress kind of was able to walk away from him there, though. Doesn't have the third point and untouchable yet. If you can stop him from like landing even a single Infernal Blade, it really does increase your survivability in these fights. What else we got going on? He's going for a Blink Dagger on Divine Llama. It's coming out pretty late, but you know your other support is Flea, who's been playing incredibly greedy. Who's now working on his own Aghanim Scepter, like I was talking about earlier. So he's gonna be able to do some sick plays with the Aghanim Scepter and the Blink Dagger. Oh, that's the save potential we were talking about earlier. So if Esk tries to commit super far forward into the rest of the team and Doom's dealing with the back line, then he can just, you know, gobble up the Viper, toss him out to the back line, then he can re-engage in the fight later.
You know what was really strange today?
What?
I was minding my own business, all right? You know, just hanging out, working, getting ready for today's broadcast. You know what? I got an email from Riot Games.
Oh, no.
And I was like, is this because of what we talked about yesterday? Did Riot already respond? The answer is no, definitely not. They don't care about us, which is good. But apparently they have an anime coming out. And it comes out very soon. I don't remember exactly when, but that I was like, first off, how am I on their email list? And second, are you going to watch it?
The Riot anime?
Mm-hmm. The League of Legends anime, sir.
Probably not.
We got Dragon's Blood Season 2 to look forward. That's coming out at the beginning of next year, right?
Yeah, I only watch real shit, man. Come on. I'm just with this fucking slice of life with the little girls in League of Legends. Thank you. Absolutely disgusting. What I want is just a Dota anime like JoJo's, man.
I believe that's going to be the... you know how we are in Dragon's Blood right now? I'm pretty sure that's going to come when they bring Axe into the making.
Dude, I want to see a Dota 2 anime featuring Axe, Bristleback, Tusk. That's it. Give me those three. Maybe Alchemist, but just the ogre.
I would be really about seeing the Court of Ristool and how they operate. I think it'd be really neat to see like the underworld people and how like Shadow Fiend runs that whole scenario. That'd be neat.
Does Shadow Fiend run all of that?
Yeah, Shadow Fiend is like the... I'm pretty sure Shadow Fiend is the unconfirmed leader of the court.
Never more Shadow Fiend, Soul of the Poet, the fact that thousands of them clean. Huh, I need to read up more on Shadow Fiend lore.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend's pretty neat.
You bested me here, Ricky. But no, I'm not going to be on the League of Legends anime. No, thank you.
We need to hit Slacks up. He knows somewhere, right?
I wonder... Sure. Or we could hit up the voice act, like just harass them on Twitter. Come on, tell me what's going on with this stuff. I thought it would be based on like different characters for the second season of the Dota anime, but I guess the first season it didn't really conclude anything. There's still a lot left in the air, so I think they're just doing a continuation of the story based on what we saw at the trailer at TI, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was hardly anything like actually explained in the first season.
There was Lena though. Lena in the
Yeah,
second season.
Lena's second season. What I'm saying is like there wasn't a lot explained about what was actually happening in season 1 unless you like know a lot of the lore yourself or you went looking for it. So I'm hoping in season 2 we get a lot of that explanation. Not like I don't need it because you know, I'm a genius, of course. You know, I have a giant brain who knows all this stuff. I definitely didn't look it up and watch multiple videos explaining, you know, what it was that I saw in the show. But yeah, season 2 would be nice to get a little clarity there.
I was just hoping that we'd see different characters again. Hit me up with that axe, bristleback, and tusk.
The true heroes are the ones who wait all the way.
The tusk and the bristleback being together could be something that they actually do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those two, like, they are connected, right? If Lena's coming, do you think CM is coming? Everyone's favorite?
Probably not in this next season. She's been banished to Ice Rack, remember?
That's right.
I don't think they're going to Ice Rack.
Oh, Kosmile goes in, doesn't care. Gunner manages to find some of the Avalanche toss, puts Yuma on the high ground once again, but no way to just stop the BKB TPs. They just leave.
They got no way to stop them. So they're just able to BKB get out. I can't believe he's gotten away with that twice now, though. What do they do? Does not take a fight over there? At the very least, he's not getting stuck up on the hill. He's BKBing and getting out of that one pretty quickly.
Well, they do manage to find Yuma there and get some eyes on him. The BKBs aren't available this time around, but Gunner just gets stunned up over and over. He's got to pop his own, but Kosmile on the backside able to just take down 2 so damn fast, and Monster fallen low as well. Gunner trying to survive up here against Yuma. The chainstones come through. Moo, is it gonna be enough? The savior for Gunner? No, he still ends up dying. It doesn't matter. Yuma trying to do what he can, but it is a lone effort there as it is just surrounded by the rest of the Zoomers lineup here. Tavai Lama going for the TP out. Will survive.
Now, Doom did not... I mean, he didn't use a second Doom there. He did pop his refresher in the middle of that fight. I don't think they can defend from this one, though. They had the double Lincoln Spheres on the Morphling. At this point, he does way too much damage. That was the issue last time. Yeah, he had 8,600 damage in that last team fight. So now it's not really an issue of, okay, we can just ignore Morphling, Doom these other targets, and you know, stall out long enough in these team fights.
This is what we were talking about from early on, right? Was this game is going to become so difficult because of the fact that you have these Lincoln Spheres protecting the Morphling, and you have to Doom or make other decisions. And Kosmile now has a free game, right? He has died 4 times, but he is level 26. He has pretty much everything he needs with an Aegis to boot. Moo did manage to find an Aghanim Scepter off the Roshan, though, so he's super happy. This basically doubles your damage output, maybe even more for the Pangolier. It is so dang strong.
Doom spent all his buyback gold on an overwhelming blink, by the way.
Oh, well, he's in. And Kosmile, looking like he wants to fight, does end up popping that Satanic, wasting its duration, basically. Getting a decent bit of health back there on that last waveform, though.
He's gonna be healing back up to full HP. Good to see if Husky and Z-Freak here. Z-Freak's still holding on to the cheese. But yeah, with Aegis for another 4 minutes, they're gonna be just fine. All the heroes are back up now, but they're just gonna drop these double Lincoln Spheres onto Kosmile. He's gonna be sitting up on the high ground and whittle away at the tower here.
They've got a double catapult. They've got to do something here on the Morphling. Just getting chainstoned in, and Moo gonna offer some assistance. They find the first kill there onto the Snapfire without a buyback either. Not gonna be an easy defense now. These waveform charges making it so easy for him to get around the toss back. He finds Yuma. He just can't go anywhere. This Ayaskadi just slowing him down, and Kosmile waveforming forward. He gets the kill. They trade for Gunner, but at the end of the day, you've got so much more to work with still on the Zoomers. There's gonna be the refresher, but Doom, he's falling low. They manage to take him down before he gets anything off. The Doom's not gonna help. Morphling waveforms out. The Will-O-Wisps saving the rest of the Zoomers here as they will just force staff and waveform away. Costa Belay still has this Satanic trying to get to these creeps. Then Impale comes out. The Lincoln survives. He's like, guys, just let me click a creep for a moment. Oh my god.
Bag him to full HP just like that. Yeah, Doom down for 68 seconds. Still missing Flea as well. I don't know how they deal with Ghost to be like this. He is too much of an issue. His entire team keeping him alive.
The Lincoln Sphere is doing work. Moo, you know, playing bumper boats here. Managed to find the wall, but we'll find Viper on the backside as well. Age is gonna get reclaimed there. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but Costa Belay will help finish up the racks, and they will just back now. Oh, looks like a fake back instead as BKB gonna get popped there. Yuma, his still on cooldown for another second. Finally comes off just in time as Moo tries to catch him with the Rolling Thunder. There's gonna be the Aeon Disc proc there from Moo. He's gonna have to hold his ground for now, and Costa Belay jumping forward again with the Satanic, trying to take down Flea. He gets the kill now, fighting up against the Vilama, hits him with the Impale, the turnaround, and it's gonna be Husky that helps find the kill as well. Costa Belay is an unstoppable force at the moment. Nice disarm there from Moo, canceling out those poison attacks. Gunner back into the fight thanks to the recall here. Jumping forward, he finds the Bloodseeker, throws him right into the fight. They take down the Viper. He's gonna fly back into the game. Gunner now needs to be careful. He catches the Doom, didn't get the BKB off in time, and now Gunner gonna go right back into the grave. Rolling Thunder will clip just for a moment, and that is all that's needed to help bring down Monster on this Doom. 90 seconds. Costa Belay will just waveform away once again, continuing to work on the tower. Satanic coming off cooldown in just a second. And use that one to top back off as he just lays into Esk. The slows are there. He's trying to make his way back into the base, but he can't. It's a beyond godlike spree for Costa Belay on the Morphling, one after another. D2 Hustlers fall. And 4 Zoomers now blow this game wide open, a 33,000 gold lead, and surely the end of game number 1, right, Neff?
It's looking like it. Tried to use that Rupture just now onto the Morphling, but ends up getting popped by a Lincoln Sphere. You just can't do anything about this man. He is invincible with all the Lincoln Spheres on their team, and that's going to be it. GG called out and goes to Belay. I mean, they had solutions for him in the early game, but the issues that they had dealing with him, he picked up the Satan, the Sanjin Yasha, he had Lincoln Spheres being dropped on him, and all the issues were amplified when he got that aesthetics cap. Like, the silences only lasted like 3 seconds on him when he was hit by a Blood Right. There's no way to take him down in that time. They had like way too many things to deal with there on D2 Hustlers. They threaded the needle for so many of these team fights, but as the game went on, they just did not have the potential to outcarry 4 Zoomers. And even though the game looked relatively close for a pretty long time, it was always on 4 Zoomers. I mean, D2 Hustlers side of the map. 4 Zoomers really controlled the pace of the game. So they made a couple of mistakes going down while putting the pressure on, but outside of that, they did look pretty solid. They knew the solutions they had to do to beat D2 Hustlers in that game.
Yeah, very solid game number 1. I don't want to say necessarily, you know, the expected result. I think a lot of people, just based on the players, like you were saying, Zoomers do seem to have a little bit of an advantage there. These guys all super well known, but D2 Hustlers had a great strat coming in here from the draft, but going late game into the Morphling didn't pan out for them. That being said, it is just game 1 of this best of 2, so we're gonna go to a short break, everyone, and we'll be back here with some more. Here on Beyond the Summit. This is the Pro Series season number 7, and we'll see y'all after the break.